Honkai Star Rail has been released for 2 weeks now, and you can pretty much find whatever content you want on the game. Whether you want to search up really inaccurate tier lists or guides and tutorials on how to clear the simulated universe, you can pretty much find it all. But there's one piece that has come up a little bit, and I think it needs more attention. And this one thing I think will ruin Honkai Star Rail for a lot of people, and it's this. Don't rush your account. Now this sounds really simple, and that's because it is, but I think this is a real risk for some people. In the midst of the content race for YouTube, people have been sprinting through the Honkai Star Rail content. And for people who make content and guides, it makes sense. YouTube content creation is kind of like the space race, where a lot of people are rushing forward to try to be the first one to make the video to get the views, and I understand that. I respect that, and in some cases encourage that. You go get that bag, man, like you do your work. Ain't no judgment here. But for the average player, you don't need to do that. You should probably just slow down. And let me be clear, if you're just playing the game and having a blast and getting through the content naturally very quickly, I'm not talking about you. You're just playing it and you're just having a lot of fun, and that is totally fine, how games are meant to be played. But right now, I'm speaking to those of you who, like myself, get sucked into the content creator momentum, where you find yourself looking at videos going, oh, I haven't pushed far enough, or I haven't cleared enough of the difficult content. I need to do more so I can keep up. That is a keeping up with the Joneses mentality that can completely suck the fun from the game. And let's remember, it's a single player game. The only people you compete with in a single player game is yourself. Well, and maybe if you're feeling really parasocial, you want to clear simulated universe faster than some content creator so you can go into their comments and drop a free to play, by the way. That's just a joke, by the way. I'm free to play myself, by the way, on Honkai Star Rail. I'm very much a believer in play the game how you want to play it. So whether that's a monthly pass holder, somebody who's whaling, or somebody that's playing free to play, hey, look, you do you, play how you want. I'm not your dad, okay? But I wanted to talk about how there are content creators who are already hitting the fuel wall, where they're stuck basically waiting to use their fuel daily so that they can get a few more relics so that they can marginally progress their account power. I've heard a few even mention that they're talking about creating a second account so they can play the game in a more casual way. While I think the fuel wall in the game is inevitable, I think we're seeing a nearly identical reaction to what happened with Genshin Impact. When Genshin Impact came out, people sprinted through the content, admittedly because it was a lot of fun and they were trying to grind out all the free currency that they could. They got stuck at a content wall where they were stuck twiddling their thumbs, becoming more bitter at the lack of content in the game because they had already cleared everything. And now I think everybody kind of gets there eventually, like there is only so much content in the game. But I was one of those people. I got so frustrated to the point that by the time we were in Sumeru, I dropped the game entirely and haven't even finished exploring the area from Alhaitham's patch or even the rest of Sumeru entirely. Honkai Star Rail, I think, is at risk of the same fate if people keep rushing through the game at the same speed as a lot of these content creators. And just to be clear, I'm not placing this at the feet of content creators. Content creators provide a great service when it comes to games like this, where they give tutorials and guides to people to help them get through the content. That is not a problem in and of itself. So please do not misunderstand what I'm saying, that I'm blaming content creators for everything. What I'm saying is that it's an infectious mindset that some people will want to emulate that creator and push their account just as quickly, to their own detriment. I think many of us consume games in an unhealthy way, where we're just like addicts just sitting there waiting to just scratch that itch, man. I just need a quick little bump, just another game, please. Especially those of us that play gacha games. People show up, play the game for maybe a couple weeks, maybe a month, and just blast through everything just so they can move on to the next game. Just look at this past year, where a trail of gaming bodies have been left in the wake, like Higan Uruthil and Eversoul come to mind, and there was countless others. I would hate to see Honkai Star Rail suffer the same fate because I really enjoy the game and have been playing it a lot on my personal time. I think objectively, Honkai Star Rail is a good game. Especially when you look at it as a free-to-play product, I think it blows a lot of other games, gacha or otherwise, out of the water. It's got a pretty engaging story, the characters look great, the design is amazing, the music is awesome, and so is the animation. This is a mobile game, and it runs like a dream, or at the very least, it runs like a dream on my phone. And I think other content creators like Asmongold have put it really well that I think the more that gaming technology advances, that we're going to see more cross-platform in that way, including mobile. And Hoyoverse is doing an excellent job with that. And you can't deny that. Compared to Genshin as well, Honkai Star Rail has so much character that's been put into the game, into the humor and the jokes. And you can really tell that the team that was working on Star Rail really likes what they do. Or at the very least, they're so good at what they do that they're very good at tricking you into thinking they like what they do in the projects that they work on. But regardless, I think by rushing players, a lot of people are going to miss that. Or at the very least, kill the experience a lot faster for them than they need to. Honkai Star Rail has not been a main line of content for my channel, and so I've just been playing it casually. I've only just gotten through maybe halfway of the second story chapter, and I haven't even cleared Simulated Universe 3 yet. And I'm okay with that. All that means is I've just got so much more content still in front of me, and heck, maybe I can even drag it out to 1.1. Probably not, but you never know. Now, I'm not just going to grandstand for Hoyoverse completely in this case, because at the end of the day, they're a company who's making a product that has been designed for people to consume, and they have put certain systems in place to encourage people to grind it. With using tools like FOMO on their characters and forcing people to push the content so they can get as much free currency as they can, or encouraging them to spend on the game, they know what they've designed in that case. Yeah, so I'm not going to make some dumb statement of like, so this is just the player's fault. Hoyoverse knows what they're doing, no doubt in my mind. But this doesn't mean that Honkai Star Rail is a bad game. It just means that we as players should try and avoid the systems put in by some publishers that can ruin the experience. Now, we're in a weird time of gaming where there's some real conversation going on around monetization in games, how it really is becoming a bit of a problem. And this isn't even limited to the gacha gaming space. Seasonal battle passes, time-gated grind fests, as well as the dreaded loot boxes are being found in all games, including $80 AAA titles. They're being found in there just as much as they're being found in mobile games. So Star Rail is definitely not alone in this overall conversation. I'm not here to argue if gacha games are the best or the worst to play. There's been a lot of people smarter than me that look at the psychology and the methodology behind these games. That's not what I'm talking about today. What I am trying to get back to is that gaming is about fun. It's about enjoying the playthrough. It's like that old adage, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And think about it, that's never been more true in games like this. So what if you take, an extra week or two and you grind extra hard so that you can clear all of Simulated Universe and you finally made it, you're at the peak, you've cleared all of the hardest content in Honkai Star Rail. Now what? Well, I guess it's time to go find another game to burn. It's a single player game. You're only hurting your own experience if you feel extra pressured into doing that. Move at your own pace. Stop and smell the roses. Just enjoy the game. I think more of us need to get off of the gaming consumer treadmill and, like a fine wine, just let it breathe before you slam it like it's Thanksgiving dinner with your in-laws. Shut up, Carol, it's only a third glass. Anyway, that's all I wanted to cover for today. I just wanted to share my thoughts a little bit with the gang here. Thank you so much for listening, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you agree with my take? Do you disagree with my take? I'd love to hear your opinions on it. I just want to encourage people to get back to the day where games were played for fun and not just played as a job. Doing what I can to help encourage people to do that. So make sure to check the description of this video, links for the Discord. You can come and join the community there. It's been great, as well as you can follow me on Twitter. I've been tweeting there as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.